the road tide. Fuck Tuscaloosa in every city that's close by. Bitch ass hillbilly redneck fans. Auburn almost caught y'all slacking like dress pants. Michigan trash, they ain't got a damn chance. Only Wolverine I respect is X-Man. Keen ass coach got exposed, still in plays. Damn right I'm bitter, y'all sweeter than lemonade. Texas ain't shit to rave about. The Longhorns only good at a steakhouse.
Noel Nation, welcome into another episode of the Renegade Rundown. We have a very special guest, another former Florida State Seminole 2013 national champion, former Buffalo Bills running back. Very few have ever done it like this man. Karlos Williams Sr., welcome on to the Renegade Rundown. Also, we have Chris Frazier of Spearatics Media, a guy that joins us all the time on the podcast. And as always, my beautiful co-host right below me, Jen Santee. What's up, guys, man? Karlos, thank you so much for joining us, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Thank you guys for having me tonight, man. I'm happy to have some free time to jump on and talk some Seminole football and talk some college football with you guys. Absolutely, man.
Well, while we get, the people start to pour in here and stuff, let us know what you got going on. I know we were talking about some of your training and stuff. What's Karlos up to right now, man?
Well, Karlos is training athletes located in Florida, Tallahassee, Florida, the capital. 23 seniors this year I've trained and helped get recruited, go through the process, and it's sticky. It's harder than it seems. Reaching out to coaches, making sure you take training tape and break down, mix it in with their highlight tapes they're playing at their respective high schools, and making sure the training correlates to the film and getting it out to coaches and hoping that materializes in the coaching reaching out to the school or the player or the parent and getting that recruiting ball rolling. A lot of kids are going under the radar. A lot of kids are shooting for that Division I offer, that D1, that big time Power 5 offer, and they're not realizing that there's D1 AA, there's D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO. There's many ways of going to college, and hoping to get to the NFL is awesome. I've done it; it's amazing. Lord's willing that a lot of my kids will have that opportunity, but you most likely you will play in the UFL, that new league between the XFL and USFL, or Canadian football, or arena ball. The window of opportunity is small, but the opportunity to go get a college degree is big. And so when I talk to my parents and I talk to my athletes, it's always something I grind. Make sure you go get that piece of paper, because football doesn't last forever. I hope everybody goes to the combine. I hope they win a national championship and a conference championship. But the biggest thing is, are my guys going to graduate? I would love to, have graduation photos one day of the guys when we first started training, when we had 0 offers, to now where we, we're a college graduate at our respective university. Making those kind of dreams that, that they didn't think was possible when we first started training before, the attention came from schools. So it's humbling. It's awesome. Me being a highly sought after recruit, it helps. Understand the process, what coaches are looking for, how they're digesting film, how many times kids are actually sending in stuff to coaches. How many times can you DM a coach and get that film in front of a coach? I've been through that process. I've had 2 older brothers play in front of me. So I've had, other guys that were talented around me play before me, and I used the attention that was coming to my school to do so. So it's a lot of little loopholes. It's a lot of tricks to the trade. I'm just blessed to be in an opportunity where I get to work with so many great athletes and parents that are invested in their kids' futures.
Absolutely, man. And, the biggest news kind of in Florida State land right now is kind of right there wrapped up in that difficulty. You kind of spoke about how if everything has changed, NIL is the name of the game. But a couple years ago, 2021, 2022, the shit was brand new. Florida State had an NIL branch called Rising Spear. Some things happened. A recruit, I won't say his name, a Georgia kid. Florida State was trying really hard to get him in. NIL was part of it. Long story short, Alex Atkins ends up driving him somewhere. And so now Florida State has been hit with a bunch of sanctions. Florida State has been negotiating with him behind closed doors here for a while. But just pretty tough situation where the only thing really listed there as, what they did wrong was Alex Atkins driving a guy to meet with an NIL opportunity. He literally just gave him a ride. But it just goes to show how important it is to keep your ducks in a row and have somebody looking out for you. What do you think about this whole NIL landscape, and how is it different from when you were getting recruited to Florida State? What's it like for these kids now compared to back then? Karlos?
Do we lose him?
I think we may have, but if until he pops back up, what do you think, Chris? You think this thing's just going to blow under the rug, or
what thing?
The basically a 3-game suspension for a Uber ride is what we got, you know?
No, it's not going under the rug. I will say this: like, a lot of people don't understand the fact that Florida State athletics has negotiated with the NCAA. All of the things that you see will not be initiated into Florida State. There's a majority of those things that will, like the 3-game suspensions. I have to. That would be the public side of it that has to be, seen. So he will be out, for the first 3 games of the 2024 season. The really good thing is that a lot of the things that are on there have already been time served. You see the 2023-24 season. People think that means that going into the 24 season, and that's not exactly what it means. It's the 23-24 combination. So it doesn't mean the whole season of this season you're still doing the same thing. Those suspensions are being lifted as we're – basically it's like a checklist. Once you get this one done, then it goes away. Then you get this one done, it goes away. So you can go look at the ones that say 23-24 season. That was his previous season. Florida State will be fine. It's like their level 2 sanctions. It's not that big of a, like, everybody looks at like, oh, this is terrible. It's not near as bad as it looks. It's easily gone around. It's easily gone over. That's why it's so public, because the NCAA just got to make sure that people know that they're still running things, so to speak, which they're really not. The truth of the matter is just it's a power push. I don't think that Florida State's going to be the only one that receives this. There's going to be a multitude of other schools that get something in similarities. Maybe not for a car ride, but there's little things. Little things. It's the smallest thing that they're going to get you on. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, I know there's more. But there was more to it than that. But what they're going to hit you for is this, the simplest. Like, we're not going to make you look bad. But yeah, you're not even supposed to give this young man a ride. It is what it is. Florida State is not going to be in any type of trouble. Yes, Rising Spear will fold, and it's not because of this. Like, a lot of people think that that's because of the reason. This doesn't help, but they were already about to fold anyway.
Yeah, I think that that ship had sailed. I'm glad you answered that in the thing, but we talked about it before. When it comes to the sanctions, the biggest one obviously is the 3-game suspension, but behind that is scholarships. And like we talked about on the phone, that can be mitigated in this day and age through walk-ons and NIL opportunities. But I think we got Karlos back on us right here with us on the show. We get you back there, Karlos. Oh, maybe not.
He set his device overheated.
Uh-oh. Well, he'll holler at us when he... Oh, there he is.
I got it all worked out.
All right.
Sorry about that. No, but to answer your question, it's very different than when I got recruited. It's a completely different world. I didn't go on recruiting trips and take pictures wearing jerseys. I didn't get the whole, the prettiness of it, the fashion of it. I just knew we were garnered in gold. I didn't know we had so many different alternates. It's very, very different. But I will say, NIL existed long before the NCAA stepped in and helped create it. It's been around for a long time. You just got to go see it. NIL was Ohio State getting tattoos. NIL was Miami being able to party like they were doing in the early 2000s, like Trick Daddy. Like, you got to understand, like, people are always going to want to support their university. Is it going to be the way people want it? No. Is it going to be equal upon all 105 guys on the roster, including walk-ons? No, it's not. because not everybody's making the plays that some guys are making, and that's just the way it is. Some guys lead teams to a national championship. Some people don't. Some people are pivotal in wins, and some guys aren't, and that's just the way it is. And even the NFL is like that. Why do you think some guys end up being the highest paid whatever position? Because they're the best in their position. So you got to show that kind of respect when you're dealing with NIL as well. You can't expect it. I don't understand how people didn't expect it to go away. It's going. As far as the sanctions about giving a kid a ride, I mean, how do you think people get one-on-one time with coaches and build relationships? You think they just do it at the stadium? You think you think it's not intimate moments that coaches get to have with recruits where they can really talk to them and tell them how it's going to be on the ins and outs? You don't think those things happen, and you're going to sanction the team for giving a kid a ride in a car? Like, that's ridiculous, because you want to find ways to punish people for attacking you. Yeah, we attacked them after, the snub in the college football playoff. Yeah, we did. We had every right to, and the ACC is dead wrong. Just like
you remember Stan Wilcox? He was around when you were in Tallahassee.
Absolutely.
Just so happens he's in a position to do that stuff. So it's
absolutely. So now we're just being punished. Michigan cheated all season. Michigan cheated all year. It was proven. Come on. And no sanctions, no real sanctions. Let's talk. But he wasn't on the sideline. All respect to Michigan and their program and winning a national championship. All respect to the players on the field, because you got to go out there and make plays. But you took them off the sideline. That was going to stop them from playing. That was going to stop them from winning games. Harbaugh's been at Michigan how long now? He's built the culture. He's built the standard. He's built a brand of Michigan football that people recognize. Like, you took them off the sideline to do what? Those recruits been getting recruited by the same coach for how many years in a row now? So when they're coming to Michigan, they know what they're getting themselves into.
He wasn't off the field for Ohio State either. You know what I mean? Let's not joke around.
Not play the game, man. I think it's a choosing game. I think it's a picking game. Like I said it before when I was in the NFL, when I first got suspended, I said that it's a picking. You pick and choose. It's people that's been suspended way more than me, that's broken the rules way harsher than me, and they've gotten chance after chance. It's going to be like that in the college football world. Now you're dealing with NIL. You're going to have schools that have every opportunity to do things that are illegal, and you're going to have teams that, that give a kid a ride and they get an intimate conversation with the offensive coordinator at a Power 5 school, and, the whole university catches on fire. It's unfair. People call it bias. So what? I'll be biased. Y'all can kiss my behind. It's just, it's wrong. I mean, we went 13-0. How do we not get in? Bama gets in. They get the ball ran down their throat. I mean, we could have got the ball ran down our throat, and it would have been a better football game, more exciting football game. I believe
we were built
better
for
talent.
that.
We had more will to win. We had a hunger to win, and then it's ridiculous. I get on I haven't talked to my wife about it since it happened. It's just it's frustrating. It's annoying, but I don't think we treat it fairly. But get back to the topic. NIL is different. It's changing the way you got to recruit. You got to show kids love. You got to offer them in their 9th grade year. Just looking at potential because he's a big kid, and then you're making promises of, we can come in, we can get you NIL. Like, it's different. When what a promise was to me, I could wear number 9. That was a promise.
That was a big one back in them days. I mean,
you understand? Like, hey, you might want to talk to P-Dub about wearing that, because not just anybody wears that.
Jen, did you have anything on this particular subject before we dive off deep into the transfer portal and all the craziness over there?
No, I'm kind of giving away some memberships here real quick.
I saw that. Jen Santino, we got us a brand new member, and she just gifted 10 new memberships, paid memberships, so y'all be eligible for the cash giveaways. We're going to do $50 at the end of this one. That's going to be members only, and we're going to start having some of these shows with members only. So maybe we'll have Karlos and a couple people on, and it'll be just the members, and we can have a little bit more X-rated kind of conversation, or maybe just a little bit more insight into the stuff that doesn't get spammed out there in the open. Some outlets like to just, break news, when they're not supposed to, and get coaches suspended and all that. But we don't do that around here. We're all about loving Florida State. And the transfer portal, along with NIL, has been one of those big changes. You said it, change it. You got to show love to freshmen, get those offers out early, build those relationships. And one of the things we talk about a lot is finishing second place matters. All of a sudden, it matters if you push. It used to be if you spent all that time, it was purely wasted resources. But you look now, and we got in this class, Earl Little Jr., Marvin Jones Jr., all these guys we finished second place. Bam, they're popping in. I'm not sure how close you've been following the transfer portal, but is there any particular guys they've got in so far that you just absolutely love or looking forward to seeing Garnet and Gold?
The defensive talent is always good to see. Defensive talent, because these are guys that's played in matured systems. Look at the systems they come from. It's an NFL quality system. They're bringing NFL quality talent to a program where defense has been dominating the last 2 seasons. It's been getting better and better. Coach Fuller's is unleashing dogs year in and year out. We were possibly going to have back-to-back first round talent at defensive end. And that's something that we've been producing since the beginning of time at Florida State is great defensive end play. So having, Peyton back, adding Jones to the other side, Baby Shade Tree is going to be awesome. Little out on the island, and even having some young guys come in. Lester is going to contribute. Conrad Hussey was one of my favorites from last season. Lundy coming back and getting out of the portal. It shows, wanting to finish the job. This coaching staff is not just going out recruiting new people. They're still talking to their guys they have in house, and that I think that goes a long way. And people aren't really looking at it, but I think it's something to pay attention to.
Absolutely, without a doubt. We reported on a certain D end coming to Florida State. I'm not going to say his name now just because it's become a big kind of issue, because it's been reported by another site that he's kind of like a silent or whatever. But we're on fire, guys. There's going to be a lot of guys. We don't have to break a certain this or that. Richie Young from Florida is currently or he's either finished up I'm not sure if he's staying for tomorrow, but he's definitely had his visit going this weekend. Richie Leonard, and also the running back from Alabama, Roydell Williams. I wasn't sure if they were actually going to go after him. What do you think, Chris, about the guys or is there anybody that I've missed that you can talk about that's on visits right now?
Not really. I mean, you've got the offensive lineman from Florida that's there, but you've also got an offensive tackle that's from Alabama. You got a running back from Alabama that's there. You still got 3 linebackers that are there that aren't being talked about right now. They're not being talked about because they haven't been announced. So, unfortunately, I will say that with whatever was put out about the young man being silently committed is completely messed that up.
Yeah, it makes sense. And while we got Karlos on here, how would you feel if you're supposed to come to Florida State? The visit was supposed to be on the down low. It gets blowed up. And then, you get over it. The staff does whatever their work, and they're trying to get you in. And then again, on the bookend, a supposed, commit gets leaked again. I mean, would you, tell them to kick rocks? I mean, that's pretty damning.
Can I be honest?
Sucks.
Can I be honest?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yes.
man.
I care about winning.
Okay.
I care about who gives a rat's ass if they know. I care about winning. So, yeah, I committed. And the rest of those guys committed. And they had 13 wins last year undefeated. Yeah, I want to play with these SOBs because I want to go win. Marvin Jones wouldn't have left Georgia if he didn't want to go play and win. Play and win. Win. Keyword is win. Earl Little wouldn't have left Bama, who throws DBs in the league, every year, if not every other year, first-round talent, if he didn't want to play plus win. So, I mean, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, I don't care. I want to play with the best. Look at our recruiting class in 2011. I want to play with the best, the absolute best of the best, and I did that. We proved it going into our junior season, and we finished with a national championship. All those guys in 2011 got drafted in the 2015 draft, 2016 draft. Everybody got off the board. Everybody, boom, we was on the roster in training camp. So, I mean, I want to play with guys that's going to take the program and shoot the program into the stars. I don't care. Leak me, please. Please, it may make somebody jump off the ship and commit. Leak me. It doesn't like it's too, and it's crazy about it. So much social media and extra blah blah blah. And who cares about leaking this? And don't whisper that. Who cares? I want to play football. I want to get my piece of paper. I want to give my chance a shot at playing in the league and playing with great talent and other great guys. That's what's going to get me there. Not worrying about, oh, they see I'm going to Florida State. So, oh, man, they think about how much NIL I can get. Or they may try to shortchange me on this because they talked about it. I don't care. I'm going to get paid if I perform well. So let me go perform well. And that's getting lost. That's really getting lost. I don't care about the league. Leak me. I want to go play football.
I love it, man. That's a refreshing take. And at the end of the day, I got to say, I kind of agree. It sucks. So it is kind of screwed up, to have somebody working against you. So that needs to get handled or fixed or whatever. But at the same time, when it comes down to the player, yeah, if that's all it takes, yeah, maybe we don't need the guy. But yeah, that's a very refreshing take. Another big thing going on there is our guy got paid. The timeline was like in full meltdown for about 2 days. Well, you didn't see Karlos melting down. You didn't see Chris and Jen and I melting down, but the broader casual fan base and even some diehards that just don't have, inside connections of any sort were really, really worried. But long story short, Jimmy Sexton does what Jimmy Sexton does. And now Mike Norvell has an 8-year contract for like over $10 million a year. That's one thing that, like, I guess since your time at Florida State, that has come leaps and bounds. They figured out that money thing, and it's really scary what this thing can look like moving forward. I cannot wait. Were you surprised to see that, or you think it's well deserved and it's well earned?
I think it's well earned. I think he's putting in the time. I think he's been through the rough of the rough. The team he inherited coming from Taggart, it's no offense to that team, but it's a different culture now. He's built something that people want to be a part of, and I think it's well deserved. I'm happy that he's going to be here. I'm happy he's going to have the time and the tenure to do it. I'm excited to see. I'm excited for the future.
Hell yeah, no doubt.
So, my question is, I'm guessing you have, but has Mike or Coach Norvell welcomed you into the program, to just come around? Have you been welcomed in? I know that was some criticism before, not with Coach Norvell, but it was prior to. Has that been an issue for you? I think that was just a question that some of the fans had texted in. So
I would say it's a very different environment. It's a different program. It's ran differently. Jimbo was built from Bobby, and so it was a very family oriented environment. When I mean family, it's your brothers, sisters, cousins, nephew is going to come and spend time at the stadium if you want them there. I remember my oldest brother used to walk through the stadium, and he lived with my brother Vince while he was in college. He went to school up here. He used to walk through the stadium and go to my brother's locker and pick up his book bag if he left it, or things like that was different. It was a lot looser than it is now. But I will say I was invited to spring practices with my athletes. A couple of my athletes were looking at Florida State, and Florida State was looking at them for a while. And I was invited to spring practice. I took about 15, 16 kids. We watched practice. Some of my kids were invited to the last year's summer camps for the individual camp. So, it's a very good relationship. I love Coach Norvell. I love what he's doing. I love what he stands for. When he speaks to us, he speaks to us. He's not talking at us, man. He shows homage. He shows respect for the guys that's been here and done it before. What I will say, they want to change their face and they want it to be theirs. Jimbo was a brand. Bobby was a brand. Florida State within itself is a brand, and when you're the head coach and you're over one of the most prestigious national world-renowned universities in college football, you gotta set a precedent. You want it to be yours, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think the way they're running it is the way they want to, and you got to respect it. But I will say they've been more than welcoming and warm to me.
Chris, do you have anything?
Yeah, I got a question for Karlos. I ask everybody this question. I even asked you at this. I asked you at that spring game tailgate where we had Wilder doing his thing. when you came over and signed autographs for us.
Yes, sir.
But I'm gonna ask you where everybody can hear it. Was it a bigger jump from high school to Florida State, or from college to the pros? Which one was harder?
Man, high school to college was super hard. Because it wasn't even football, it was so much other stuff. Like, you know how big campus is? You know how many females are walking on campus like your first day? Like you like it's not like you remember going from 5th grade to middle school and now you change classes and you don't have the same people in every class.
Ooh, wow.
That's what it's like, except like way bigger, like 100 times bigger. You know, finding classes. I mean, now you're on your own schedule. Like nobody's gonna wake you up. No, nobody's gonna call you and tell you not to go to class. But on the back end, you're not old enough. Well, you're old enough, but you're not really thinking about the consequences. Like, man, I'm gonna pencil roll 1,000 yards. Like, or I'm gonna be squatting with 225 on my lap while I squat on the wall. Like, you're not thinking about those consequences when you're gonna be doing this at 4 a.m. You're just thinking about, man, I want to go to class, I want to get out of practice, watch a little film after practice, and I want to go live life. And it's different. NFL was more battle tested. You're fighting for your job. And especially when I came into Buffalo, I was the 5th back on the depth chart. I had never been that low on the depth chart in my life. I had never been not getting reps in practice. I had never not been, I went through a practice in Buffalo, 2 practices in a row in camp my rookie year, and I didn't break a sweat. I mean, I did team warm up, and then I did individual, and then I watched the rest of practice. And that was something that was new for me. So learning to, every rep is could be your last. Every rep could get you more reps. Learning not to have missing assignments is basically making money because you have more opportunities to get on the field. But it was harder, as far as, guys hitting, guys knowing their assignments, alignments. In college, you play certain teams, every team has maybe 1 or 2 guys on defense. Like nobody was as lucky as us in 2013 to have 11 guys that were going to get drafted. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's not too many defenses like that. The 2001 Hurricanes. There's not too many teams like that.
Right.
And so it's just different. In college, you can find the duck. You can find the guy that plays in the nickel slot, or the safety that has to play over top because he can't play down the box. Because or the guy that plays in the box because he can't cover half field, or the corner that plays in the boundary because he can't cover the field. So you find guys like that, or the DN that can't get off the run block, so you run at them all game. You have guys like that. NFL that doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
Like fans sit on the couch every Sunday. Oh, that guy fucking sucks. Oh, he's terrible. He's giving up this stuff. Oh, that offensive lineman is trash. You take the offensive lineman and you put him against any D tackle in the SEC. I bet he dominate him.
Yeah, the offensive line especially. This guy had a good question here, kind of tying into that, kind of the balls it took to do what Jameis did the last week of the season. What did you think of that play when he went out there and got points for his brothers instead of taking the kneel when they tried to just send him out there just to kneel for one play?
If I'm Jamal Williams, I'm grateful, man. I'm blessed. I'm grateful to have a teammate like Jameis. I was Jameis's teammate at Florida State for 2 years, and it was awesome. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. He's an awesome guy, awesome family guy, awesome husband, awesome teammate. To do that and to be conscious of that is bigger than yourself. Yep. That moment was bigger than Jameis. That moment was about getting the guy that was a workhorse the season prior, and due to injuries this year, he couldn't be and couldn't contribute like he wanted to. So let's get this guy in the end zone before the season ends. We know we're not going to the playoffs, but we just got a big home win against a division opponent. Let's get this man in the end zone. Let's show him some respect and homage for the body of work he's done here in New Orleans since he's been here. Jamal Williams has always been known as being a great teammate, even when he was in Green Bay, even in Detroit. He's known for being a good teammate. And so I can only imagine that camaraderie in the locker room to say, man, let's show this man some respect. Let's get him in the end zone because he deserves it.
Hell yeah. Noel Jam comes in with a $5 super chat. Life is good. Norvell stays. George in the Hawaiian shirt. K-Dub in the house, and Jen's left shoulder is out. Great Friday evening. Don't forget we got Spearatics in the building, man. We wouldn't be where we're at right now without Spearatics. Heck, I got to meet Karlos for the first time at the spring game this past year. So, yeah, we appreciate that super chat, buddy. Jen, you got a question? Or anything you want to bring up for Karlos?
I do. Okay. So one of my favorite games, like of all time, was the Clemson Florida State game in 2013. Can you just kind of walk me through that? Like, I will never forget, the big countdown to it. Clemson was trying to break the sound record, right? Dabo had on his best sweatshirt that his mom, wrote his name in the back of with a Sharpie and everything. They run down they get on their bus, they run down the hill, they do all these things. I mean, it was the best thing. And I have to be honest with you, my daughter, who is now 21, she had gone to the fair this day. She went to the fair here in Memphis with a friend, and she comes home. Her parents, bring her in the house, and she's got these earrings on, and they were Clemson Tiger Paws. And I was like, not in my house tonight. Not in my house tonight. You're going to take these off. She'll never forget that. She's never going to forgive me. I don't care. I throw them away. So, how was that game for you? Because that to me, to me, oh my God. Let me tell you guess what I do every Mother's Day? Every Mother's Day, I swear to God, I replay this.
Oh, God.
I rewatch the Clemson Florida State 2013 game. I swear it's my favorite thing in the world. God, you had this one. What play was? You trucked somebody in the end. It was amazing too, by the way. Can you explain? Just tell us how that felt going to Clemson and just ripping their heart out.
Watching them run down that pathetic hill is actually pretty funny. I hate that hill. That hill is absolute garbage. The stadium's actually amazing, man. The fans can touch you. They can sit in the front row and actually touch the players if they actually wanted to. They can reach far enough and touch you. But beating them up there was awesome, man. They had, a great roster. Taj Boyd, some great receivers. Sammy Watkins was there. Mm-hmm. Just really setting the precedent. Clemson was on the rise in the ACC. They were next up, quote unquote. They were supposed to be next up. And that year, I believe at the end of that season, they ended up playing in the Orange Bowl because we won the ACC. But think about that the years prior. Clemson had been playing pretty good football. We beat them, the year before in Tallahassee, but my freshman year, we lost to them in Death Valley. So, I mean, we were going back and forth. Clemson was definitely a team to beat, just like Miami every year. But it was electric. KB going up and getting that ball, Rashad's long catch and touchdown. O'Leary trucking Travis Blanks on the tight end crossing route. Devontae ran the ball super efficiently. James Wilder ran it efficiently. We just played very sound football, and defensively, Pruitt let the dogs loose. I mean, he called back. He held back no shots. I mean, we just went after him. And with in that early stage of Dabo, you've seen so much so much trickery, so much. You got to have so much eye discipline watching them with the motions and the running backs going this way and the backs and the quarterbacks turning around, hiding the ball, and they're throwing a deep bomb over top of your head. It was difficult at first, but I think we settled in. I think we knew what we were getting ourselves into was going to be a hostile environment. I think we just had to go play our brand of football, and that was smash mouth, get in that behind type of football. And we did that. We did it very, very well. We went home happy on the plane. I mean, it was a great environment. I love that stadium though. It gets so loud. It gets so unbelievably loud. The fans are into it, especially when you play at night. But I'll forever say this: there's no place like Doak at 8 o'clock at night. There's no place in America. I've been to a lot of stadiums. There's no place in America like Doak Campbell at 8 o'clock prime time. You can't beat it. You can't beat the atmosphere. You can't. I don't care where. I don't care what. I don't care. You come to Doak. Think about transfers have said this. Man, I played at Happy Valley at Penn State. Ask Keziah Holmes about Doak Campbell 8 o'clock at night. I guarantee you he can't. Okay, cool. You got an extra 20,000, extra 30,000 people. It doesn't make the atmosphere.
It's next level, and we got that good home schedule this year.
Oh,
we got 2 of the 3 at home this year. I cannot wait. We get the Ireland game. Oh yeah. What game are you looking forward to the most? I guess is coming up here.
All of them? Because all of them coming back for it all.
We're coming back
Ooh.
for it all. Nothing. Honestly, as a fan, and there's a lot of skepticism, like, how we're gonna look. We're losing so much. People want to be here. It's free agency, baby. People want to be here. People want to go to a winning team. People love Randy Moss until Randy Moss went and played for the Patriots.
Right.
Randy Moss won a ring. Like, let's not be dumb. Like, Randy Moss won a ring. Let's go play with the best. Let's go play with some great defensive guys. Let's go play with some real guys that care about football. Let's go win a ring. And Norvell has built that. He's built that kind of environment. It's a no nonsense, no BS kind of go program. Let's go win it. If we're going to talk about it, we're going to go be about it. And that's what he does. And that's what it's been. And guys want to come be a part of that. If you don't want to be a part of it, too bad. Get left by the wayside. We're going to go win.
Facts. And I think the floor and the ceiling is getting risen. But Chris, did you have anything before we get into like the questions and just kind of talking to the chat and doing our normal thing? Any more questions for Karlos?
Karlos, what was it like playing with the crazy ass white boy of Nick O'Leary?
Oh Lord, this is a good one. The dude fucking knocking off trucks and buses and shit.
Nick is one of my closest friends. Nick is an awesome guy. Nick has always been an awesome friend since the day I met Nick at the Gridiron Kings tournament in 7-on-7 at Disney's Wild Water Sports. As I met Nick, it was our junior year, going into our senior year this summer, and we played in the 7-on-7 tournament in the Southeast. D Hart, Hassing, Clinton Dix. Oh my goodness. Jalen Rose, a corner, ended up going to Auburn. Nick O'Leary, of course. I mean, we had so many guys that were just Tony Stewart. We had a linebacker out of Miami, ended up committing to USC at the time. Norton, I believe, was his last name. We had so many guys that were gonna be the guy at their university, even as a young guy. But Nick, we called him White Chocolate. We got Nike cleats, we got gloves, we got all type of apparel, and he came out with his old high school cleats from Dwyer and no gloves. He spit in his hands, he smacked them things together, he rubbed them up, and he caught every ball. I mean, he didn't drop a pass all tournament. He ended up winning the MVP. From that day, man, me and Nick were cool, man. We seen each other at camps, recruiting visits, man. We always hugged it up, took pictures, and even after we got at Florida State, we remained close throughout our years here, and then we ended up getting drafted together to Buffalo. Nick has always been a close friend, calls me on my birthday, FaceTimes me randomly sometimes, asks me how the family's doing, the kids and the wife, and his the same. And Nick has always been a great guy, great family. Can't expect nothing less, but I'm happy he's a part of the staff. Getting that blood, that been a part of it, and watching something mature and grow. Nick was a part of that. Nick was a part of that era where, we thought we were lost when we left Bobby, and then you get Jimbo in there to rebuild and rekindle that culture. And Nick was really essential in that, playing a lot as a freshman, being known as one of the best tight ends in Florida State history, if not the country. You want that kind of blood walking through your locker room day in and day out. So I'm very happy that he's a part of the staff.
How cool was that for him to end up at Buffalo with you? Wasn't that, that time, like, that had to be pretty cool to have somebody from your college. I mean, that was a pretty cool couple years. And for him to work his way, I mean, he really worked his way up becoming, I think he had a couple good years before he retired and went on to coaching.
Man, Nick is, let me tell you how essential Nick is in my life. Me and Nick Nick and Tony Stewart, my wife had went out for wings during the summer one time, and we ate tacos and we were just hanging out. Me and my wife's like, let's get matching tattoos. And Nick was like, are you guys serious? It was saying monotone. Are you guys serious? We're like, yeah. So as we're getting the tattoos in two separate rooms across the hall, he walks back and forth. It's like, you guys, this is so stupid. You guys are so dumb. You guys are idiots. But just being the friend that Nick is always that guy. Nick, Los, it's not a good idea. Los, I wouldn't do that if I were you. If you need a ride, call me. He was that friend in college. So, I mean, I'm happy that I'm blessed, and I'm happy I got to know Nick O'Leary. I'm happy he's on the roster. I'm happy he's, coaching. He's taking that next step in his life as well. Like, we just had the reunion for 2013 and just seeing all the guys in their next steps of life. And guys are in real estate. Some guys in finance, and some guys creating their own business and doing different things. It's just really, really cool to see, your teammates and your family, your brothers that you went to war with and you came out on top with, crowned the, college football kings for a year. That was big. So just seeing everybody, and definitely Nick and where he's come from is really awesome.
So I had to throw the play in on the highlight package that we had to start the show. Andrew Chambers with a $1.99 super chat wants to know if you can talk about the fake punt play that you took for, I think it was 4 yards for the first down to get the momentum rolling for the national championship.
This play is funny, man. It's one of my favorite stories to tell. So we're we're on offense. We don't get the first down, and Coach Fisher has his crooked fingers. And typically, if he's on the mic, he's going over, the last couple plays, what it looked like, what the kind of coverage they got, this and that. And he kind of tells us always like to shoo it away, like just kick it away with his fingers out of there. And so Coach Kelly was talking to me and Telvin about running Rocket, which was the reverse. And as he's saying it out loud, like, "Are we going to run Rocket?" Like, what y'all thinking? He hears over the mic, "Yeah, it's good. It's good. Like, go ahead." And so we go on the field. We shift in formation, and you can like, as loud as the Rose Bowl is, and people don't understand, when you're on the field, you don't hear the band. You don't hear the crowd. Like, know what I'm saying? You hear the vibrations, but you don't really hear. It's just a lot of like plane noise. It's just a lot of noise. And so you can hear what's going on. You can hear people chatter. And so we shift out in formation, and as the ball snaps, you can hear, no, 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 no. I get the ball and I bubble. And as I turn the corner, you can hear him, yes, 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 come on, come on, come on. And it was just one of the most electric feelings. You can see half of the stadium die, and you can see another resurrect. You can see a crowd of people that's like, you can feel the air come out of their lungs, and you can hear the air fill in the Noel fans in the stadium. It was like it's whole new blood. And I didn't realize how much turnovers played an effect. Like a block punt, if you're up by 10 points and you get a block punt, your chances of winning that game shoot down from 90 to 33%.
Wow.
Yeah, just off of the momentum change and the psychological change it does to a game. You think about what you have to do. Dang, I was up by 10. They got a block punt. Now I'm only up by 3. I got to go out there. Do I want more points? Am I going to settle for a field goal? Am I taking time off the clock? What is my down and distance? What kind of return I want to get in? Do I want to play field position? Am I going to fair catch this ball? All that takes into an effect. And so not knowing that I didn't really understand it, I'm just being a part of it at the time. That was a big play. We go down the field. Devontae scores. We go in the half. We come out. Now we have momentum because we got the ball right back.
Yeah, that was a crazy turn of events, man.
And now we can play football. And now we're on our terms. Now you got to play with our momentum, our juice. And now the defense can play with less pressure and go play. And they did that. But that fake punt was not supposed to be the fake punt it was. But it was a fake punt that every Seminole across the world needed. We needed that one. I mean, we worked our butts off that entire season to go win an ACC championship like the way we did in dominant fashion. The way we dominated all season, beating Florida inside the swamp the way we beat them, beating Miami at home the way we beat them. Just seriously, just winning the games in the fashion we won it in. It was only right that we go win it the way we won it out there in Pasadena.
Yo Daddy Noel wants to know if you were surprised about Jimbo's lack of success at A&M.
Very, very surprised. And I think everybody, look, Jimbo gets a villain role, and I may be biased. I may be very biased. I mean, somebody just sent me a clip of him doing a podcast the other day, and he was listing some of the guys that are still in the NFL, millionaires, all pros, pro bowlers, future Hall of Famers. And he mentioned me being one of the best guys he's ever coached at Florida State. And to me, that's big. To switch a player's position and that player still get drafted respectfully, and that player goes on to break an NFL rookie record, that says a lot about what he sees in kids and talent, what he sees inside of people. He's did it before at LSU and gotten guys drafted. Dwayne Bowe was a safety coming out of high school, moved to receiver, was a first-round pick by the Kansas City Chiefs, and had a great career with them. So, I mean, he's known for being able to put guys in positions to better their lives, their careers, and themselves. I think that Texas A&M is a different place. A&M itself, College Station, if you've ever been there, it's a different world.
Yeah.
I'll say this, that money's different in the SEC. That money in Texas is different. You're building 190 feet, like you're building 190 feet of indoor facility. You got two football fields inside the same indoor. It's not been heard of. I mean, think about how many people are in that stadium every Saturday and they sell out. Their boxes right now, their premium boxes in their stadium are going for 100,000 promise, 900,000 over 10 years. That's crazy. When you have that much influence, you got to produce football. You got to produce wins. I don't think his roster was ready to produce wins. We're just think about Jimbo had that number one recruiting class in what year? Was that 21?
Yeah, I think so. 21.
21. Those kids are still babies, man. We didn't win until 13. I would have been a junior this year. So you get what I'm saying? Those kids are still babies, man. Those kids are still not ready to, it's different football. And you're in the SEC. You got to go
COVID
win
on
that.
top of it. It came and changed everything.
Yeah, it did. NIL changed it all, man. Well, how much can we get this kid? How much can we get that kid? And there was a scramble period where everybody's trying to figure out who really can get paid. Who are we really going to pay? Who are we really going to put money in the hands of? Like, let's talk about it. It's hard to do. And then you want me to go compete against, let's talk about the SEC West, period. You got to go compete against them every weekend and week out. Now, no slight to the East, but a South Carolina, a Vanderbilt, Kentucky, week in and week out, and I get a Florida,
Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah, come on, Tennessee, that choke artist. I mean, you got to understand the pressure that you're under, and you got to recruit, and you're not recruiting outside of Texas. Let's talk about that. You're not really recruiting outside of Texas. You're not. I don't care what nobody says. You're not coming to Florida to find that real talent and that real speed that you had at Florida State. You're not getting those kids like that. Go look at the roster, how many guys he got come out of Florida, the same honey holes he was recruiting out of. It's different. They're not going to let you. They're not going to let those kids in Texas not get a real chance of going to A&M when they've been breeding those kids to go to A&M their entire lives. It's different. It's going to be different. You're going to be put pressure to make things happen that you're not naturally meant to make. That you don't naturally make happen. Nobody wants just to recruit one state. Come on.
Yeah, it's just a whole different culture and everything over there.
It's a very different culture, and you got to respect it. Texas has put out how many great athletes, how many Hall of Famers, how many Pro Bowlers, how many national champions? Plenty. So you got to respect it. But in this day and age, if you want to win national championships, you got to go where the players are. You got to go where the athletes are. You got to go where the speed is. You got to go find it. And you're going to find it in Florida. You're going to find it in Louisiana. You're going to find it in California. You may find it a dip and dab in Texas.
Yes, sir. Before we open the phone lines up and get into the questions, Jen, you got anything? Chris, any questions?
I do. Karlos, right. I'm gonna let you know that you won me $500. Oh yeah. When you were drafted to the Buffalo Bills, there was a local Memphis writer here that was like, "What's going on?" I said, "I bet you $500 that he is going to be a superstar his first year." And he's like, "Oh my God, that's easy money." His name is Jeff Calkins. If anybody wants to go look him up.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. So, he paid me in increments, but you know what? I'm good with it.
You know what I can say? I will say thank you.
People always
talk about, "Oh, you played that year in Buffalo, man. I wish you would have played." I tell my brothers all the time, I enjoyed my time playing. I'm happy that I got a chance to step back. I think the opportunity wasn't what I wanted to step back and how I stepped back, but I did, and I learned the real business of football. And so it's awesome to be able to, when I train my athletes and talk to parents, I'm a glass house. I'm like your windshield. You can't drive when it's dirty, and it's not going to tell you the truth when it got rain on it. You get what I'm saying? It's always going to be muggy, going to be foggy, going to be cloudy. I'm a clean windshield. I'm a glass house. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I tell the truth. If my parents asked me about why I got suspended, I'll be honest. They asked me why I got suspended multiple times. I'm honest. Why what happened? Because it was a choice I made, and that choice was personal. It was selfish, and I only thought about myself at the time. Well, I did X, Y, and Z because I made that choice, and I'm here to let your son not make that same choice. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to have those tough conversations where you find uncomfortable. I find fitting. I fit right into it. It's so comfortable to have uncomfortable conversations about the things that you do in the dark as a kid that will come to light as an adult as you play this game and go along in your football career, because you're going to have to face it at some point. And if you're not going to face it now, it's going to face it when it really counts later down the road, and it may cost you your future. Not many people are willing to have those conversations with young men and really let them know that it's a safe place to come talk about it. It's a safe place to really open up about it. It's more than just running into people and scoring touchdowns and doing choreography and celebrated dances and stuff like that. It's more than going to Pro Bowls and Hall of Fame. We're talking about your life. We're talking about your health. We talk about your mental and your physical being at times. It takes a lot out of you. But my career, I'm happy with it. You can Google it anytime. It's going to pop up. It's only the second player in history to score 6 consecutive touchdowns in consecutive games. I'm from Polk County, Florida. Hang City, Davenport, Laufman, Ronald Reagan Parkway. I'm from a very small place, man. I'm very proud of where I'm from. I'm proud
Let
of
them
what I've
know,
accomplished.
Karlos.
Could have been greater? Yeah, it could have been greater. It can always be greater, but it also can be greater later. And I'm figuring that out right now. I'm living, I'm living the best I've lived in a long time because of what I do. You're training young athletes, giving kids the blueprint to get there, and then and helping them build a discipline to stay in there and really do it and maximize. I want to see their kids. I want to train their kids. I want to meet their families and and watch them grow and flourish in the game I love so much, because that's what it's about, being able to pass it along, being able to give them something to look forward to. I've touched the game. I felt the game. I've scored in the game. It's time for other people to have the opportunity to get there and maximize on their opportunity. That's what my 1 year in Buffalo did for me. It helped me maximize an opportunity and understand what I truly want to do. And it's help young men get to that stage. I don't care if it's one snap in preseason. I don't care if it's garbage time in preseason. In the very last game, I don't care. You made it, bro. You know how many people want to do that? You know how many people want to take a kick step at right tackle? You know how many people want to take one snap at receiver or one snap at gunner? You know how many people want to go try to block a punt on scout team? You know how many people want to? It's very limited opportunities. But if I can get you to narrow in, focus, and live like nobody else so you can live like nobody else, then I'm doing my job. And I love it.
Absolutely. Chris, did you have something?
Yeah.
Karlos?
First off, Karlos, James Coleman said you need to show your face. I know who that is.
James, we might have to bring you in for the second hour if you're free, bud.
Secondly, my question would be, who on Florida State's defense in 13 hit the hardest, in your opinion?
LaMarcus Joyner. I wouldn't let him hit me. Listen. I'm not a genius, but I'm not a dummy. I wouldn't let my brother hit me. I wouldn't let Nigel Bradham hit me. I wouldn't let Joyner hit me. I wouldn't let Reggie Northrup hit me. No. I wouldn't let Jalen hit me. I wouldn't let Jalen catch me on a good hit. No, not me. I'm not a fool. I learned how to protect myself early when I switched to running back.
That was one of the questions we had earlier. Did you ever have any regrets moving to running back? Did you miss it at all? Playing defense?
If I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I hope Coach Fisher happens to listen, I wouldn't have got drafted if I wouldn't have moved to running back. I'm a firm believer. I wholeheartedly tried to learn the defensive system I was in. I wholeheartedly tried to, buy into what Pruitt had brought. It wasn't something that was fitting. We just didn't gel how I wanted to gel. Me and Coach Fisher always had a great relationship. We always had a great relationship. Me and Coach Dawsey, he recruited me. Even though Odell was my area recruiter, Coach Dawsey was hands-on in recruiting me. And so we always had an awesome relationship. We always were close. So moving over was easy. Getting Coach Trickett to like me was a little tough. Being a DB, we like to be pretty and wear different socks and gloves and bands. And he's like, nah, like you don't wear sleeves playing running back because you're gonna fumble, you idiot. Like you learn the playbook. You're not gonna come over here and be pretty and be dancing and all the clowning. So it was a transition, but it definitely made me more mature. It definitely made me more responsible, knowing my assignment could cause so much havoc.
Oh, hope it might have overheated. Yeah, Joyner, man. He get kicked out of freshman practice as a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, his entire time at Florida State.
He was getting kicked out of the NFL too.
Yeah, 2014, I believe it was, when the dudes were kind of lacking. He was not having it. Jimbo had to run him up out of there. I didn't hear the stories of him getting running out of practice in the pros. I guess I'm just not remembering, but
well,
he's a beast, no doubt.
Did.
You got a good story on that? I don't remember that one right off hand.
So when they first went to pads, his first season there, I want to say it was one of the wide receivers that he just laid into, and they told him, "Hey man, chill out. Don't hit this first day of pads. You ain't got to do all that." And then they were doing 7-on-7s basically in the NFL, and he hit the /halfback /wide receiver slot guy, and because they already warned him, they told him that he needed to go to the locker room and chill out for the day. And then he said he thought it was funny because he wasn't upset about anything. It's just what he does. He didn't even hit him as hard as he could. So, yeah, I mean, Joyner was known for just like I don't think there's a player his size or any size really that could use his size to all of his, advantage. Like the way he hit people.
Oh, every bit of that 210-pound, whatever frame it was, you were getting every pound.
It was a lot like Telvin Smith. Like Telvin Smith could hit. Like everybody said he was an undersized linebacker. That guy used to make people puke on the field. Like
that man hit you one time at 22 mile an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean Taylor.
Missile.
But I think Sean Taylor is still a little bit bigger. If I'm not mistaken, I might be. Sean Taylor's a little bit before me, but I've seen his VHS when he was at.
He was a beast on VHS back in those. What they call the TV with the big tube, the projection TVs.
Shit, I don't even know.
He was not on no plasma screen, that's for sure. But no, he was a beast. Greg Jones got his lick in though. That's for damn sure. I'll never forget that UNC.
I was gonna ask Karlos about that play where Nick in that same 2013 Clemson game where Nick O'Leary just completely abolished that linebacker from Clemson.
Blanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was from Tallahassee too,
Blanks,
right?
Who was committed. Oh, he was committed to Florida State first. He sure was.
And he decided to go elsewhere. Nick O'Leary made him pay for it.
Yeah.
I loved every
he
minute
regretted
of
that
I loved
for
every
life.
minute.
But Nick, so I get to talk to Nick here and there. And we talk about Karlos all the time. I was going to bring something up about, he said it though, right off the bat. I was going to bring up, so what was his nickname? Because it was White Chocolate. And
White Chocolate.
Oh, here's James.
I was going to bring it up a little while ago, but damn it, you're going to eat in front of me.
What you snacking on, big man?
That's pizza. I know what he's got.
Oh shit. I was hungry too. I'm always running late. I had me some little Tom Thumb tacos before we got started.
You're quiet.
I mean, since breakfast.
Can't hear you.
Me?
No, you're good. It's
James.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to talk on mute.
Yeah, that's a thing.
It makes it tough.
I've been talking all day. I've been doing stuff all day. I had a craving I feel like I was pregnant. I had a craving for the garlic sauce from Papa John's, and I was just like, you know what? It's pizza night on Friday, so we didn't order 3 different types of pizzas. I'm ordering pizza like I just signed an $8 million $10 million a year contract. So
I like Papa John's. Whip up. You got to hold up the garlic sauce, man. I'm the same way. That garlic sauce is straight fire, son. I use about a half a thing for each slice. But yeah, Papa John's, Shaq, whoever's running game over there, hit us up with a sponsorship. We're down. Any other people out there, if you do have, on a serious note, if you do have a business in the Panhandle or anywhere in the Florida kind of southeastern area that you think could benefit from the Renegade Rundown and what we do here, reach out to us. We are open for sponsorships and different things like that. And we are also looking for producers. So if you are an
Ooh,
up and coming
yes, for
producer,
sure.
think we could help you grow, we could grow together, reach out on that end. Also, memberships. Jen has already gifted away, I think 10. I think she was talking about gifting away maybe 10 more.
We're going to give away. I'm going to do 10 more.
Okay, she's going to do 10 more of those. I'm going to give away $50 here in about 30 minutes. Hopefully we get Karlos back up. I know he's having issues with his computer overheating. But in 30 minutes, like I said, we're going to give away $50. That's members only. Just going to be a members only giveaway this time. We're looking to set up a members only show either next week or the week after that. So we're really trying to get you guys to get the memberships up. We really appreciate it. Jen's done gave away 10. She's going to give about 10 more. Make sure you get over to Spearatics Media or at Spearatics right here on YouTube. Make sure you're subbed. Make sure you're membered up over there. He just wants to Substack like I have over at renegadereport.substack.com. He's got one, spearaticsmedia.substack.com. Obviously, follow Jen at JenSanti1890 on X. She has all kinds of fun stuff on there. And of course, James has Den Media Group right here on YouTube. MFTK, the foundation, all that good stuff. Make sure you're following all of us. This is a family. We all help each other. We go on each other's shows, and we try to keep it real. You know, that's our thing. We've got a former player to join us all the time, like James. You can't beat it. And so what's up, James, man? What's going on? We kind of talked a little bit of everything, but we were, really interviewing Karlos before he dropped out. But anything in particular you want to talk about? The extension, any players that were about to pop, or what?
I mean, I love Karlos, man. Karlos, the Williams clan is one of my favorite families.
Vince is the man too. My bad.
Me and was it? I think it was me and no, it might have just been me and Vince. But I'm gonna get him back on, or I may actually. What I may do is just go look for the interview and redo it. We did it during COVID, and it was just a freaking real interview, man. Like, I love real, candid people that you can just talk. And Vince is one of those guys. I mean, we talked about everything from them getting banned from Disney World to, I would have never known, but their stepfather is white. And and just, even the dynamics of having that and growing up in a certain way and people having to be enlightened about how the rest of the world works through your children. It's a funny way of things going in, but they're a great family. I love Vince, love Karlos, love what Karlos does in the community. Reminds me a lot of how I was when I got done playing, in the training and the stuff like that. So good people, man. But mainly, man, just been a whirlwind 24 hours. I still am gonna do a show. I saw you guys doing a live. I think I saw it on X. You added me, so I didn't realize you were doing one. But just kind of, I'm not here to discredit anybody's opinions or what happened. I'm just here to discuss things that I know to be true from my firsthand experiences. So if you saw my social media, man, like I got a chance to kick it with Mike today. Mike came through Mandarin today. Talked to some stuff, but like me, Toby Bullet, we got about 40 minutes of candidness, and we were literally the first stop that Mike had after they made the announcement. Like, he made the announcement, then 20 minutes later, he's at Mandarin High School, and I just told people, like, he's not going anywhere. Like, it's just like people. I'm like if he was going somewhere, they're doing a terrible job. And I talked about it on the show. They're doing a terrible job of, or excuse me, nobody else knows. But there were a lot of decisions, a lot of thoughts, and if you've met that man, and why I like Norvell, it's not bullshit. What you see is what you actually get. Like, everything it's not an act. It's actually who he is. And he was like, I'm not hard to say, but like he was a little choked up just talking about the idea. And I told him we talked about the Bobby story. I said, now you know they're gonna really compare you to they're really gonna compare you to a ghost now, man. He was like, what do you mean? I said, well, Bobby turned down Bama too. And I want to talk about it a little bit more because I can expand it without, taking over somebody else's show. But like a lot of parallels, and it's not a situation where we had anything to worry. The only way we would have had something to worry is if it was we want like full court press Mike Norvell's like we're gonna give you $15 million and everything that Saban has. And I remember last night I was in Tallahassee, and one of the conversations that I had last night, believe it or not, I don't know if people realize this, but when you're born and raised in a city, right, as small as fucking Tallahassee, you were a high school, you were really good in high school, and everybody knew who you were in high school, and you made a couple plays that got played on the Jumbotron, you tend to know a couple people around the city of Tallahassee. So I was talking to a couple people around the city of Tallahassee, and the conversation was, what we will not do is let money be the reason why he leaves.
All right, well, we got our I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, man. No, that's cool.
No, I was just going to say we got our first caller. Did you have something for James on that subject?
Hey, big James.
That's Drew.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Drew?
He's saying some real stuff, man. He always speak the truth, man.
Absolutely, man. You're live on the show, man.
This twin from Gainesville.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Twin from Gainesville. All right, what question you got for me?
I had to check in on y'all.
Heck yeah. Did you have a question for James?
Hey, how you feel about us holding on to Mike Norvell?
Absolutely, man.
I don't view it as we held on to Norvell. I view it as we never had it. Like what I felt was, again, and I use a lot of things in relation to relationships. I knew I had something good and worthy. Now everybody else just knows I got something good and worthy, and I knew it wasn't going nowhere because we're gonna treat it right. We built something. Like Mike has built something. Like when you built something, it's why it's so hard for entrepreneurs to sell their companies to larger companies. Like you built this thing, you put the blood, you saw it come from a baby, you saw it do something like so. Like he's like, why would you leave now? Like when it's kind of there, like to go somewhere and no matter what, you're gonna have to start over. Did y'all see like 20? Like the Alabama players are pissed right now. I think like 25% of the team showed up to the meet. Like they ain't happy, and that's something. But I feel like I don't think Mike was. If I really mean this, guys, like if I'm panicked, you should panic. Like I literally was like, I saw him, like, okay, he ain't going nowhere. I got to know what we could like.
That had to feel nice knowing, I was talking to Chris about this earlier, the strides y'all have made and y'all getting to have that conversation with Norvell and stuff. It had to feel good to know, we got this shit. We ain't got nothing to worry about and where things are going, stuff we can't even talk about on the show. It's fun times.
Like I saw, like, I don't want to say what I saw. OG Bob was telling people the vibe, right? And people are like, I'm like, why, James, how can you be so cool and why can you be so level-headed throughout the whole process? Because I actually know what the fuck is going on. Like, that's right. Why. Like, if I was panicked, it's because I know what's going on and there's a real reason. I've never, like, to quote Jeezy, one of my favorite rappers. I listen to Jay's. Depends on the time of day, but today was traveling, so I was selling bricks. I was listening to Jeezy.
Moving bricks down I-10, huh?
Yeah. I never exaggerated one line, one dime. I never lied to the people, not one time. Like, that's what you got to think about it like that, man. Like, if it was something that I was just like, damn, oh, wow, they offered some. Going back to when I first got into this part of the game, It's when Jimbo Fisher was leaving. We lose to Alabama. I get told, literally after the game we lose to Alabama, Jimbo Fisher to Texas A&M, $75 million. I said, ain't no way in hell, ain't no coach worth $75 million fully guaranteed over 10 years.
Fuck, no, not back then, especially.
So I knew of that. So when it started happening again, after right around the time we were about to play Florida, probably before that, a little bit before that, I'm like, oh, damn, wait a minute. It really might be there. Oh, I'm panicked. I'm a little nervous right now. Like I was nervous that we were going to lose Jimbo. And what were we going to do afterwards? I wasn't nervous. I wasn't nervous about the NIL thing because I think, Chris, I told you offline, this was coming. I didn't know it was going to come in the manner, but even when you go back and you read what the negotiated settlement was, we already did it. We done did a year. We done did a year of that bid already. And 25 is what 25 is going to be. We'll roll with that. But again, a lot like in this situation, those who are the loudest people in the room probably are loud because they're scared because they don't know what's going on. They don't understand it. They're not feeling it. And if you feel differently about Mike now, that's because you never really paid attention to who Mike was. Nothing has changed outside of what Mike was. Everything, like I tell people with me, everything is on brand. Everything that Mike Norvell does is on brand. So this was like, if you knew what the brand was, like even if you don't know the information, you'd have never had any fear because that would be so off brand of Mike Norvell to bring in an Alabama player, like to take that commit yesterday to, okay, he's going to Alabama. Oh, he's going to Tuscaloosa. Like, nah, motherfucker coming 1 o'clock. I'm about to see him. I think I saw one publication posted, oh, well, he's flying to Tuscaloosa from there. I'm like, not on Florida State's private jet that he flew to Jackson. So I don't think you guys understand how this works. Like, that's not how any of this works. Like, he's coming to talk to a commit and about something. And I'm going to drop this bar with you, then I'm going to give the rest of them later. I'm talking about, bro, I wish I could have been here to hear this shit. I'm talking about fresh off of $80 million that you know you're getting, right? Mike comes in that thing. Clean ass great Nike. First, I asked Tony Tokar. So if y'all see me with the bowl game sweatsuit, I told Tony, I said, yo, when I saw Tony was here at 8:30, Tony and Dugans were there at 8:30. First thing I seen them. Straight up, like, ain't nobody working like them. Like, I don't like half of y'all not working now. Y'all don't like your jobs. You're looking on. If you knew your company was folding, you'd be on Zillow. Not Zillow. What's what people go for jobs?
Indeed, some shit.
ZipRecruiter or some.
There you go.
Indeed.
You'd be on Indeed right now looking for stuff, right? That would be the first thing. Second thing, you'd be around this thing like, I'm not finna. The last thing I'm finna go do is talk to little kids out of town. If I'm looking for another job. I'm trying to get out of here. So they come over there. Mike comes in, clean ass, great Nike polo, Florida State Nike polo. My dog needs to eat though. If I could do anything when I go over there next week, I'm gonna take him to lunch that he's gonna pay for because he can afford it.
Start putting some pounds on him, huh?
We're gonna go to Orleans. We're gonna get some food that's gonna stick to him, right? But so check. He comes in and he's talking, and I won't talk about those particulars yet with the contract. But then Trammell and Jamie come in, and the first thing he says is, priority is more than words, it's actions. You see what my priority is based upon the action that I did. I just got done. You see where I'm at. I was like, yo, this is spitting. Like, this is some pimp shit.
This shit hits a little different than it did in 2020, don't it?
Then he looks at my guy, Jamie. Jamie, I'll never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself, as you can see.
Bars.
I'm sitting there. I'm in the chair. I'm in the chair because like it's a big old because Coach Bullock's room is like it used to be a culinary arts room, so it's a kitchen. It's a huge ass room. Big Tobe is right here. That's my son's godfather. I'm here. I'm like, we over there having a whole cheerleading course. Mike got bars, man.
James, tell the truth. You was over beatboxing.
I was over there like, whew, I'm over there like I'm going to use that on somebody's daughter one day. I gotta use that's some game for your ass right there, bro. Like that's some like he said
Love
he
it.
carried that thing. Oh shoot. Let me take this call. This is probably this is recruiting stuff. But
We'll probably get some good news.
Short, I'll probably be I know I said I'll never do a show at 9:30 this morning. I'll probably be doing a show at 9:30 to recap and everything. So I'll see you guys later on Den Media Group. Make sure y'all are subscribed to this. Go become a member. Go get that $50 from George.
Appreciate you, James. Jeff Hill, bam, gifts another 5 memberships. Noel Jam, bam, another member signs up. And we got a call on the line. You got a question for either Jen or Chris? You're live on the show, brother.
Quarterback situation. Do you think Brock Glenn get any playing time?
Great question, man. We'll answer it and open the lines up. So he wants to know if we think that Brock Glenn is going to get any playing time. I'm guessing he means in 2024.
I mean,
Either one of y'all, don't matter. Chris, let's see what you got.
So, okay.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jen.
I was just going to say, yeah, I think so. I think he does. I think he will in a couple games. I think he will get in there. I think probably maybe fourth quarter time. But with DJ, I mean, it could be halftime. We don't know. Let's see how the first game goes, and then we'll go from there.
Facts. I was arguing with a friend, he's like really down on Brock. I think some of the casual, more part of the fan base is down on him because of the way that he, his 2 performances, but it's like people don't realize he was hurt for like 8 weeks of the year, has like 1 day to prepare, gets thrown out there in the ACC championship, and then 2 or 3 weeks he thinks Tate Rodemaker's starting, and he had like 6 days to prepare for the Georgia game. I think 2025 it's going to come down to Luke or Brock, and you're going to see a real fierce competition there. And Brock, he may win that thing. Absolutely.
I do. I think he's one of those kids that'll fight through anything, and it don't make a fuck how hard it is. He's going to keep going forward. But will he get any playing time this year? Yeah. I mean, there's a few teams that you're going to probably blow out pretty well that Brock will get in probably mid to late third quarter and play the fourth quarter, which is good for him. And like I said, Joe, I can't predict what Brock's going to turn into. I think Brock's great already based off of what he's been able to be in college, thrown to the Wolves as a redshirt freshman. But it's not going to be a DJU or someone that holds him down. I'm just going to be dead ass honest with everybody. Luke Krummenhoek's going to be the biggest fucking problem that Florida State's ever seen in my eyes. I'm just telling you, like I got to talk to him here recently, and to hear that he already understands the entire playbook, and it not just come from him.
Okay.
The kid has only been here a very short period of time, and it is what it is. He's got to put on a little bit of muscle and stuff like that, but Luke Krummenhoek's going to be extremely special for Florida State.
He's one of them guys you can tell like by his cheeks and stuff. He's not going to have problem. He's not going to be one of these hard gainers. I think similar to Jameis, like within a couple years of being at Florida State, it's going to be like, all right, you got enough weight on you. I don't think he's going to have any issues there. He's going to be a stud. I agree, man. I'm drawing a blank. What's his quarterback coach's name? Denny Thompson, James's buddy. He's been on a roll with quarterbacks. Obviously, coached up Anthony Richardson, the Gators quarterback, and several others. I think he's the next one in line to be a big-time player. I mean, if we hadn't got DJU, if it wasn't transportal era, it would be a competition this year between Luke and Brock, and he'd have a chance. And the crazy thing is he's only played 2 seasons. I don't think many people realize that. He's literally only started 2 seasons at quarterback. Freshman and sophomore year, he was safety and cornerback, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, correct. I don't know exactly what I was reading something, but yes, that's correct.
And guys, don't forget the number is up on the screen. So now is the time to get your calls in about 10 minutes from now. We're going to do a members only giveaway for $50. But get your questions in. We usually go for about 2 hours. We're lucky enough to have Chris Frazier of Spearatics here with me and Jen. If you missed the first hour, don't forget to go back and watch the first hour with Karlos Williams. We even had James chop on for about 15, 20 minutes. So get your questions in. Can't wait for the Spear to rise and force many ESPN college game days at home. How fun will that be to see our fans disrupt every broadcast? I know one thing, that damn that game day in Ireland is going to be something. I cannot wait. I initially had said I wasn't going to go, but closer it gets, me and Jen are getting a little itch. We may have to find our way over there to Ireland to figure out how to get there.
Oh, we're going to have to get our passports here quickly.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
You do?
Yeah, he's in Memphis.
Oh, no,
There
not
you
one
go.
of the Memphis people at the DMV,
No, he's
right?
he's a good guy. It's not like that.
A real passport. We're talking about one on the opening up.
Legit.
Oh, no. That's like some 9/11 stuff. Like, that's what happened on like 9/11. That's why Chris and I are joking. Like, the 9/11 hijackers got some of their IDs from Memphis, the DMV. I swear to God.
Oh, I missed a call.
So out of ignorance of not remembering, when did Liberty Land close in Memphis?
Oh, God. I was in high school. Let me figure out what age I'm lying about right now, and then I'll tell you what year. Let's see. I would say 97, maybe.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, we got another caller. You're live on the Renegade Rundown.
All right, man. Hey, I'm just coming on, man. First of all, thank you, Jen, for the membership. And Chris, if them boys give you problems, hey, man, this big country Georgia boy got your back all the way, Chris. Just give me a call. And next, I just want to thank y'all for giving the everyday Florida State fan a chance to be on with y'all and voice your opinion. I think a lot of these shows get too big and they just, they forget about the everyday little fan like us that, we want to get on and voice our opinion. They never give you an opportunity. So thank y'all guys for giving us the opportunity to get on and voice our opinion about the team that we love also. And finally, the last thing is, do y'all think this little sanction thing might have bought us an extra 2 years with Atkins? Because he might have was about to get ready to leave us. So this might have bought us a couple 2 years. I know wherever he go, those Saints are gonna fall in for 2 years. So he may be staying put for 2 years. That might have bought us 2 years with him.
Man, that was a great question. I'm sorry, I thought you was done. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. That's all I have, man. Y'all have a good night. I'm still on listening.
Heck yeah, man. That was a great question. We'll spend a few minutes talking about that. That had not crossed my mind until he just asked that question. We've talked a lot about, kind of projecting, we'd at least have him for this year, maybe 2025, but eventually that right job is going to come out. But if he's going to have sanctions follow him around for 2 years, I don't have a good handle on that. I can't tell you. I haven't looked at it close enough to tell you if it would or it wouldn't. Does either one of y'all have anything on that?
It would follow him around for sure, but Atkins wasn't leaving anyway, man. Like, I've been telling people we got to worry about Atkins and, like, at earliest 25, 26, but I'm more looking at 28, 27, 28 is when I think he would leave, just based off of when you're an offensive coordinator, especially when you got moved up inside of the same coaching staff, you need that experience for it to go up. We have to be serious. Like, I understand we love Atkins. We love Mike Norvell. We love Fuller, et cetera, because they're our coaches. We know more about them than the majority of people do. But the truth of the matter is your resume matters. It's like as if when you go to get a job. I mean, you might be the greatest neuroscientist ever, but if you ain't got anything on your resume to show that, you might not get an opportunity to prove it. So Atkins needs a little bit more time as an offensive coordinator on his actual resume for him to be able to go anywhere as a head coach. He's not going to make a lateral move. It's going to be the right move for him, and it's going to be really hard because his wife loves Tallahassee. It's going to be really hard for him to leave. I'm going to be honest with people.
She loves Tallahassee, and she loves those kids. Like, she really loves those kids. Did you have something,
So,
Jim?
Chris, yeah, I have, Chris.
And Liberty Lane closed in 05.
People are saying that Mike Norvell was never a target for Alabama. I can 100% say he was. Can you confirm that? Because I mean, nobody would probably believe that out of my mouth. But I can 100% tell you he was. What do you think?
I don't know exactly. Look, is it Florida State people, or are we talking about Miami and Florida people saying this?
I think Alabama people are saying it.
Okay, so I can't say who, but I can tell you that there's actually two of them. I can promise you that Mike Norvell was called not only by the athletic director of Alabama, but also by Nick Saban himself. Both of them made that phone call separately. Both of them explained different portions of what they would like to see him do at Alabama, what they would give him control of, and things to that nature. I 100% know for a fact that Alabama definitely called Mike Norvell for the job, for 100% sure.
Heard it here first, folks. It was the one-way thing. Mike Norvell had every opportunity to become the head coach of Alabama, to get there and negotiate for it. And you heard what James said. He was standing on business. He told those young men, and I'm paraphrasing here, but, actions speak louder than words. And where am I at? What am I doing? He was that Mandarin recruiting, holding shit down for the Noles. So you love it. Jeff Hill, who is just giving out memberships, doing super chats. He's always on all these big shows. 10 Media Group, Spearatics. Thanks for another $10 super chat. Jeff Hill says, I don't know why some of these talking heads on some of these shows don't think we can win our games. There's no one on that schedule. Really, that scares me. Yeah, I agree, man. We can get into that a little bit on what you guys are thinking right now as far as the win total or your ceiling and floor. Chris, if you want to take it away.
I can't do that until May.
Bam. Can't do that until May. And it makes sense, guys. We got to see some action, some game, some spring game action, have a roster to actually look at,
It's not that. I could literally tell you exactly what I think Florida, Miami, and Florida State's records are going to be. Right now, I could tell everybody exactly what I believe that it's going to be based off.
I know where you're going with this.
But I make people wait until May because I like being right in May. I don't know what it is about being right in May, but when I get to say back in May, I said this was going to happen. I did it with this previous year. May of 2023, I told everyone what the ceiling was for Florida State, what the ceiling was for Florida, what the ceiling was for Miami. And if you go look at it, it was 100% correct. So I don't know what – some people got pissed off at me. Those bookmarks were amazing. The thread of that was amazing on top of everything else, where everybody said I was absolutely high. I was smoking this drug or that drug, so on and so on. And then after people started getting tagged when I reposted it, they were like, well, he was right, but it was a crazy take. How was it crazy when it's 100% correct? Nothing's crazy when it's correct. Life is crazy. I'll give you that. But we can't sit here and I'm not going to lie to people about what my predictions were or what I said about Norvell not leaving or the conversations that we had behind the scenes. I talked to both of these host and hostess, both of them about the situation with Mike Norvell and leaving. It is what it is as far as what we knew beforehand. I can tell you that no one on this show or my show or Dope Talk or Den Media, none of us care about breaking news. We don't give two F's about breaking any type of news. I don't know how long George, Jen, James, CJ, and a couple other people, how long we knew that Mike wasn't going anywhere. But we all wanted to be reassured. Well, what are you hearing? Because this is what I heard. What are you hearing? Because this is what I heard. I mean, my exact message was, if there's ever a time to call this person, the time is now. Because I'm hearing that it's not happening, but until I hear it from the horse's mouth, I ain't going to feel good. And we got answers within minutes from the moments of those things happening. So is it big for Florida State to keep Mike Norvell? Yes. Is it bad for Miami and Florida for Florida State to keep Mike Norvell? Yes. Here's the biggest thing that I think is awesome. I can't wait for Mike to tell people what was the biggest reason that he didn't want to leave Florida State, or what was all of his reasons for not wanting to leave Florida State. It's coming. Like, that's going to come out. And I think it's going to be a huge hit as far as media goes. Everybody got mad at Mike because he wasn't coming out as fast as Sarkisian, or he didn't come out as fast as Dan Lanning. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Everybody thinks, well, Dan Lanning was called first because he made the first video. Sarkisian was called second, and he made the second video. Mike Norvell was called third, and he made the third video. Their fourth choice was whatever the dude's name is, DeVore, whatever it is. No. The way that Alabama sets things up is we're going to have a conversation first and foremost before there's ever an offer. The first conversation happens with a multitude of coaches at once. I know that sounds nuts to people, but that's the way it works. The second conversation is individuals. Who was the first individual that was talked to? Why does it matter? Because they didn't get the 3 that they wanted. I can tell you that 3 of them were talked to before the one they got. What does it matter what the order was? The difference that matters is when Mike gets to tell the story. And I hope that he tells the story. I hope that he wants to. He may not. But to hear it would relieve a lot of people to know just how deep Florida State runs in Mike. It literally, I think James even said it. He almost got choked up talking about it.
Love it, man.
Mike loves Florida State to the deepest of depths. And 99% of this is Jimmy Sexton doing his damn job for all of his clients.
Ding, ding, ding.
Raise. Everybody got a raise, and nobody went anywhere other than one dude, which I don't even think is his client. I mean, it might be. I don't know. Don't really care. But the point is that Mike stayed at Florida State for a multitude of reasons, more so than money, more so than the contract. People I don't think really know what Mike really gives a shit about. And money's great, but Mike ain't fucked up about the money like people think. I really wish that everybody knew just how in-depth he was as far as the traditions of Florida State. And he was like, why would I be scared to follow in Nick Sabans' footsteps? I'm already having to follow in Bobby Bowden's footsteps. Like, that quote alone. Like, damn. Like, he grew up watching Florida State. He grew up loving P-Dub. He grew up Dion. And, like, it's not hard, man, to realize that the guy's got a deeper love for Florida State than people realize. All right, but what if Texas' job comes through? Mike's from Texas. He'll go back to Texas. Mike ain't fucking going nowhere. I'm telling you right now. Mike would have to be ran out of here with a baseball bat to leave. I'm going to be honest with you.
I love it, man. Yeah, he doesn't buy into the bullshit hype of, these kind of people that just watch ESPN and believe what they're selling to be the best. And, like, he knows the facts. He's a football guy through and through. And, yeah, I love it. He doesn't have to come out and say it's his dream school and all this bullshit. We know how much he cares about it, and he loves it more than us, as much more than us, to put in the hours, the dedication, everything. We are really, really lucky, and we're going into year 5. I mean, you think about Jimbo's year 5, things are already slowly cracks were starting to show. We still haven't even reached the mountaintop. He's still climbing. That trajectory is still going up. The floor of the roster is rising. The ceiling's rising. And it's just a great damn time to be a Florida State Seminole. But we're past 1:30 or an hour and 30 minutes into the show, so we're going to go ahead and give away $50 right now. This one is for members only to give away this show. I'm doing it a little different this time. We've just been doing numbers in the chat, but this time we're going to do one. It's going to be my favorite cornerback of all time. My favorite Florida State cornerback of all time, and this is not to confuse with the best cornerback of all time at Florida State or the best quarterback in the NFL of all time from Florida State. just my personal favorite cornerback in Florida State history, the one that I think of when I think of a quarterback. So we're going that favorite cornerback of all time. And also next to your answer, there's going to be a number between 1 and 100 because I'm guessing more than one people may get it right. So it's going to be my favorite cornerback, and then the number closest to mine, 1 through 100, is going to get it for the tiebreaker. Guys, make sure you're putting the numbers as well. Everybody's putting in the corners, but you're not putting the numbers. I'm going to give y'all a couple minutes for everybody to get their guess in, and a number will be the tiebreaker. And I can already say one of you guys, we may not even need the tiebreaker. Usually they all come in at the same time and you can't tell which one came first, but I think we have a clear winner this time as long as it is a member, and it is a member, Persistent Jordan. Greg Reed, G5, my favorite corner of all time. I will never forget that Chick-fil-A Bowl in 2010, coming off of what people call the quote-unquote lost decade, 4 years of that dude that does nothing wrong over there.
I was at that game.
You were at the Chick-fil-A Bowl? Oh my goodness. I was sitting actually meeting. I was meeting.
Lattimore just got laid out. Oh yeah.
I was meeting a bunch of SEC friends who were haters, talking all this shit through high school. They hadn't made it there, and like everybody, kind of the party started. People ran into the room, huddled around the TV, and pow! I mean, he knocked teeth out. I feel it for Marcus Lattimore, but my favorite hit of all time, and just a dude that I really appreciate. As you know, there's I think the only highlight tape I've ever uploaded to the YouTube channel was a minute-long Greg Reed highlight. So Persistent Jordan, the number's on the screen. Shoot me a text, if you will, with your Cash App tag, or if you wanted to, forward it to the Battle's End or buy memberships or whatever you decide to do with it. Just shoot me a text and we'll get that figured out. We sure appreciate it. And again, the line is open. Scrolling across the bottom, we got about 24 minutes that we usually do here. And Jen has been awful quiet today. What's up, Jen?
I know, I have been quiet. I'm thinking about, let's see, should I do 5 or 10 new memberships? Let's see.
Whatever you think. We appreciate it. You've already done 10 already. We've had Jeff donate 5. It's been a really good show. We really appreciate you guys. I think it's a ton of fun working with you guys.
5. I think I'm going to do 5 because we've got 305 in here right now, and there's 174 likes.
Let's go. Everybody go hit that like and subscribe as well.
If you guys can get those likes up, I will do 10.
Bam. And I didn't even realize Jeff Hill wasn't a member. He's done giving away hundreds of dollars on here. So thank you, Jeff Hill, for becoming a member yourself.
If y'all get the likes up, I will do 10, but it's not going up. Nobody's listening.
Those are it's another one of those things. We always say that while we're live. It's one of those stats that I think takes a long time for YouTube to roll up. I think sometimes we have more likes than we really have, but guys, just go hit the damn like button.
I'm sorry. Kerry Watkins says, Chris, are you done for the day? Hell no, I'm not done for the day.
Give him a rant, Chris. What's got you pissed off? What's really got you pissed off, man?
I'm not pissed off. I'm just not done for the day. Look, man, anytime that Florida State players are coming in, and I mean transfer portal or recruits or whatever, however you want to look at it. No, I'm not done until they're done. And the problem is these kids got a shit ton more energy.
Nobody works harder than Chris. Will not be outworked. I'm not going to say that. Mike, anytime I call this guy, he's working doing like 3 jobs at the same damn time.
Okay, well,
so yeah, you can call him any time of the day, any hour of the night. He's going to answer the phone, and chances are he was already working on something.
Yeah,
Angelo wants to know if you're going to be on James' show later on tonight. Is that what he was talking about? 9:30 at night, doing the show.
That's what he was talking about.
If he does, we'll have to go watch it. And yeah, I don't know.
He sent me a link already.
But he's got some facts. I just absolutely love the fact that y'all got to have that meeting and everything today. That's freaking awesome.
That's super cool.
Here's the thing.
Okay, he's back in the chant. War Chant has got to stop releasing shit. So there, I didn't say nothing about it. I just read a comment.
Look, they're after. Look, they're
that shit with War Chant. I mean, you leak a guy's visit. He's supposed to be coming here, and then you gonna leak some shit that they're trying to work out a silent behind the scenes, like on both fucking ends. If that dude doesn't show up, it's like, bam. How many? I draw blanks, but I know it's Mims. This, like, how many times are they gonna keep stubbing their toe? It's like, I try to like not put names out there, not talk about people
didn't
specifically
they
because
just get
it's just
Florida
not
State
what we
busted
do.
on this
But
plant the spear
God,
bullshit? Like, are you kidding?
Rising Spear.
can y'all not hear me?
Rising Spear. I mean, tomato.
no,
no, Plant the Spear is an amazing show. I'm sorry. I take that back. It's an amazing show. God. Yeah, I'm tired.
It's been one of them
I'm sorry.
days. Oh shit!
I'm
There
sorry.
goes George. Now it's really been one.
Yeah,
of those
he just is like, fuck it, I'm out.
Oh Lord. It is Friday. That's why I tell people.
I'm sorry, Jesse. I love you. I love your show. I love everything about you. You're the best breakdowner ever. I did not mean it that way.
So was I y'all couldn't hear me that whole time, I take it?
No, you were gone, dude. You fucking left on a spaceship with Elon Musk. We didn't know what happened.
Well, it looked like everything was good on my end. Fuck, I don't know.
No, you was gone.
I could see y'all's lips moving, so I knew the show was going. That made me happy. I was just doing a rant for fucking East Milton out here. I can't even remember. What's the last thing you heard me say?
No, I didn't hear you say shit.
We didn't hear you say anything. I was just being an idiot. So,
well, no, see, this is when the show gets good. This is the good shit right here.
Well, who knows? I'm totally oblivious to what I don't know when I stopped hearing y'all or when y'all stopped hearing me. I just know I was talking about something. Is there any way of getting Charlie Ward on the show? Now that would be an awesome live show.
That's about as hard as Jameis Winston and Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. That's a Jameis, Dalvin, Charlie. Those are three he would love to have.
Oh, Charlie didn't even want to talk at the Hall of Fame thing. His own induction, he didn't want to talk. And James says it all the time, and it's the truth. The only person that doesn't know who Charlie Ward is Charlie Ward himself. He doesn't know that he's the guy. He does not. He just doesn't care.
Literally the most humble, just kind of quiet, unassuming, but you're literally that guy. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's super, 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 super quiet, but it would be nice to have him. A lot of people have talked about Myron Rolle. Ooh, that would be intimidating. You want to talk about an intimidating guest? Myron Rolle. I mean, super, 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 super smart.
Yeah, I can't. I can't keep up with him. I mean, no, but I would ask him about his Me Too situation because he totally took down what's her name, Amanda Seal, right? Yeah, that'd be a good conversation.
No, what James is saying is so true too. Because when Charlie came up to us the first time he did it, we was in. I don't remember where we were, but the second time that he came up to us in the Champions Club, dude, I'm myself until that dude comes around. It's not anybody else. I've been around Dalvin, didn't freak out. Been around Jameis, didn't freak out. But something about Charlie when he comes around, you're just like,
it's that dude, man. Heisman winner.
He's just, I don't know, man, how to explain it. He's like I don't even think he notices people are like just, you're the guy. Like he doesn't. He's like, man, how's it going? And he'll sit there and talk to you. And the craziest thing is, I think Charlie and a lot of these former players, like when Charlie came up to me, he said, hey, man, I really love what you do on the show. I watched the last episode, and he starts telling you what was on the episode. And I'm like, you watched my show? Like, what? And he was like, yeah, you and James are killing it. I really appreciate what y'all said about so. And I'm just, it blows your mind that he knows anything outside of, like, you're Charlie Ward. Like, what? Why am I important at all to any part of your being? But it's cool because it was the same way with like Mickey Andrews when he popped up. I didn't think Mickey Andrews looked at YouTube or heard ever like that. There's no way, like not. And then he was like, "I remember you from this time," and I'm like, "Wow." Like I thought that would be something I only remember, but it's cool to meet some of these people and then they actually know who you are. It's wild.
Brian Pratt Power says Charlie Ward was the best quarterback in New York for 3 years when he played for the Knicks.
It was all over the radio in New York.
That's not a lie.
So did he speak to y'all? Bobby, one of the questions asked if Bobby Bowden spoke to you. Do you remember? Did he speak to y'all's high school or something like that?
No, we went to Germantown Baptist Church, and
I was there.
I can honestly, that's what GBC is for, and I can honestly tell you, if I went into Germantown Baptist Church, it would probably light on fire. Chris can understand what I'm saying. He knows that church. Look, I'm very Catholic, and I'm okay with that. I don't need to go into Germantown Baptist Church on a Sunday when I saw all of them out on Saturday. You know what I mean?
Well, you could go to see Bobby. You say you got to see that. How old were you when that happened, Chris?
Shit, I don't know. I was a kid. My dad took me.
Pretty cool getting to meet Bobby.
You went to Germantown Baptist, or did you go to Kirby Woods?
No, it was Germantown
Kirby.
because the thing was we always played baseball against Germantown High School, and a lot of their kids went to that school. And the Germantown High School coach invited my dad and myself, and we didn't even know that Bobby was coming until the guy told us. So it was definitely that big. And it's a white church, right?
Are you talking about Bellevue, or are you talking about
where?
Were you on Germantown Road, or were you like in Germantown?
It wasn't the 3 big crosses. Not that.
Okay, one. That's Bellevue. Yeah, that's the Six Flags over Bellevue. Germantown Baptist Church is just the the other Six Flags over Germantown is what I call it.
Hold on, Brad. I don't know what year y'all played, but Germantown High never beat us in baseball.
Yeah.
Sorry, never happened.
What year?
Every year I played. I was never.
But you have
we were never beat by Germantown High School.
So what? 05 through 08 or something? 06 through 09, something like that?
Oh my God! Like Brad is way before that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Come on,
Brad, I'm not that damn old, bro. Hold on.
Angela Smith says, Chris, can you get Jay Trav on the show? I don't know. That would be sure cool if that could happen sometime down the road. You'll have to watch out.
It sure would.
I can't give George all of them. Like, he can't have everybody. And I'm not giving them who they've gotten, just throwing that out there. But, Jay Trav, a lot of these guys I'm going to be talking to right before or right at the combine, a lot of them. So, like, I've already got confirmation with Keon. I've already got confirmation with Jared. I've already got confirmation from Benson.
Heck yes.
Jordan is the only one that I'm waiting on, but Jordan's the least one that I'm worried about. Even though I got confirmation from the other ones, I'm more worried about the other ones than I am Jordan.
Hell yeah, that would be an awesome one. I will definitely be tuned into that one or begging you to come on or something. Jeff Hill with another $10 super chat. Jeff Hill is active in this thing, man. We sure appreciate you, bro. True story. This is still kind of an early in Bobby's career. My dad was in the boosters and really big at that time, and he had to pick up Bobby, and he actually came to my house for a little bit. Wow, that's pretty freaking awesome. Not very many people have that story outside of athletes. You know, he was known to go see all the top athletes and stuff. So that's an awesome story, man. Thanks for sharing it.
Well, George, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I gotta go. I just got a bunch of messages about some stuff that I need to be doing right now.
Let's go. Well, I'll be blowing your phone up here in a minute to find out what the scoop is. We appreciate you joining us, though. We got another 10 minutes, if that, left anyway. So we really appreciate you joining, Chris.
Y'all have a good one.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys get over to Spearatics Media at Spearatics right here on YouTube. At Spearatics. I think he's at Spearatics on all platforms. Of course, Jen Santy 1890 on X. You can find me Renegade Report 1 on X, renegadereport.substack.com if you want to go over there. If you like the written articles, you get emails for each article we print. So if we get a commit, you'll find out first through that push notification and get straight to the article written either by myself or my lead writer, Matt Champion. So get over there again, renegadereport.substack.com. Thank you everybody for all the memberships. Thank you to Jen for handing out the memberships. We're really looking to grow this thing, get you guys some exclusive content for the members. So we haven't got it locked in scheduled, but we are working on a special members only episode here either next week or maybe early the following week. So we got that coming. We're going to do plenty of more giveaways. We'll probably give away 200 when we get to 2,000. We'll see how that goes. We'll definitely be giving away something when we hit 2,000. But again, I'm not going to go into the whole leaking thing. Again, we talked about it earlier on the show. But just around a specific King explained it was just around a specific commit. His visit was supposed to be under wraps and it was leaked, and then they had gotten past all that and thought they had him talked into a commitment or something along those lines, and that got reported and leaked again. So we'll see what happens. But when shit like that happens, if I had to put my bet on it, if I was that kid, I'd have to think twice. So we'll see what happens. We've already landed a ton of portal guys, and we will continue to get portal guys that want to be here. So it's not that big of a deal, for the program, but at the same time, it's like the shit keeps happening over and over and over and over again. It's like, geez Louise. And I see a lot of people asking about memberships. Basically right where you subscribed, after you subscribe, if you go back to that same place, it'll say join. It doesn't say memberships or anything like that. You just have to find where it says join. And when you click join, you'll have your different options. Some people say it's easier on the browser, but you should have no problem on the app. Just where you subscribe, it'll say join. Oh my God. Look at that comment.
I'm about to give away some more. I just, let's see.
Look at that comment, Jim.
Oh my God. I wish I could totally give you the membership because that's an amazing comment. I love it. But it's random. I swear to God, I would totally give it to you.
Yeah, when we give away when Jen gives away the memberships, or somebody, you can also gift the memberships for other people. It's random. You don't really get to choose who you want to gift the membership to. So
otherwise you would have it, Stacy.
Yeah,
you would have it.
It's gonna
have the membership. It'd be all yours.
Well, the line is going across the bottom of the screen. We've got a couple minutes left, 8 minutes tops. So if you have any questions for me or Jen, now is the time. Speak now or forever hold your peace. And again, we sure appreciate you guys for joining us on another episode. Anything that we haven't talked about you want to get out there before we get out of here? Looks like I need to check my phone.
Let's see. Mike is staying, so that's a good thing. But we already said he was staying. This wasn't a surprise for us. Let's think. What do you think? I mean, I think things are going in the right direction. I think this weekend could be interesting. I need to give some petty. Dude, I'm petty all the time. What would you like me to be petty about? Because I can do it.
Well, we do have a question. I'm sorry. I think Nick Snyder is the one that said it. I guess he texted it in. I didn't get this in when we had the whole crowd, but it says, for each of you, who is your favorite FSU player of all time? And I'll let you take that. I know we've answered that before, but we'll answer that one last time, and we'll call that a day.
All time, really? All time. If I'm gonna have to say all time, guys, because of my personality, because of who I am, I'm going Seabass. I'm going Seabass. Look, I mean, it's a hard decision, and I can't differentiate between the greats of Derek Brooks and Marvin Jones and Work Done and Jameis. I'm just not going to do it. So I'm going to break it down and do it this way. I'm going Seabass. That's what
I like it. I like it. That's different. I'm between, because when I was a kid, it was Snoop Menace. I was able to meet Snoop Menace at James Coleman and Chris and CJ's tailgate. I got to talk to him for 20, 30 minutes. Same as Kenny Shaw, who ended up having on. Same as Karlos. James Wilder Jr., who I need to get up with. Hopefully get him on the show. So, yeah. if I've got to figure out if we can give you a membership, we'll make it happen. But yeah, we'll definitely make it happen one way or another because we got to have James as a greenie. But yeah, it's random for whatever reason. We just can't pick people to give it to him, unfortunately. But yeah, Jamie says so hard to pick, but I'd take Peter Warwick. Anybody that says Peter Warwick is definitely in there. And bam, Jen Santino, 5 more Renegade Report memberships. So scramble them up. If you get a membership, let us know before we get out of here. Hopefully we get it to the people that deserve it.
Oh, yeah. Pretty No Girl got one.
Did she?
Right.
Okay, let's
yes.
go. Pretty No Girl with the membership. It's always nice when it's people that are active in the chat.
Hey guys, I'll probably give some more away in the next show, when we come on Sunday?
Yep.
And Tuesday we have Rob DeLoach on with us, which will be really fun.
Yes, Rob DeLoach and CJ Wilson will be coming through for a 30-minute segment. We'll get deep into some recruiting as well. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Anybody have anything y'all don't want to call in or nothing? Really? Man, it's Friday.
Looks
Mike
like
Stain. Nobody's excited. That's some wild stuff.
Oh, we've had fun. We've had a good 2-hour show. We're right here at 1 hour and 56 minutes. So if we got any more questions, we're going to call it a day, and we will see you guys Sunday. Thank you so much for all the memberships, all the people that donated. Thank you, Jen, for donating. Stick with us, man. We'll see you guys Sunday. It's all about the Noles. And I guess we might as well play on the exit. We'll go ahead and let you guys get a look at one more time the trailer that I put together for Karlos Williams for this show. And we will see you guys next time.
First off, fuck Bama in the road tide. Fuck Tuscaloosa in every city that's close by. Bitch ass hillbilly redneck fans. Auburn almost caught y'all slacking like dress hands. Michigan trash, they ain't got a damn chance. Only Wolverine I respect is X-Man. Keen ass coach got exposed, still in plays. Damn right I'm bitter, y'all sweeter than lemonade. Texas ain't shit to rave